Buy and hold is better. End of discussion. Period. Exclamation point. No more debate. There'll be forever debate on this. But I'm just telling you, buy and hold is better. This is a blog that a guy had sent to me from Invesco, which is down here in Atlanta. And like Invesco is just another run-of-the-mill mutual fund company. It's fine. I got no qualm with them. They're not my favorite. An odd image there. I think they used to be in Denver, if memory serves, but that's just an odd icon. I've never quite understood an icon like that. But anyway, be as it may, even me as a buy and hold guy was surprised about the numbers these guys came up with. So let's go into this dateline, March 27th, 2020, by these two chaps. If you drink your tea like this, you call them chaps. Okay, because I don't drink my tea like that, I call them dudes or guys. All right, let's just, I'm going to skip the first part of it. All right, let's consider the cases of three hypothetical investors during the global financial crisis. Each has $100,000 in the equity market at a cyclical peak on October 9th, 2007. Now, what they're saying, if you scroll down, the equity market here is the Dow Jones is down here someplace. It's down here. Oh, right here. The Dow Jones is index. They're using the Dow Jones as a measure of stock return. So they're saying, so each has $100,000 in the equity market. They're using the Dow Jones. I don't know what the same thing would look like in the S&P 500. Presumably pretty doggone close, but be that as it may. Just remember, this is based on the Dow, not the S&P, not the total stock index, the Wilshire 5000. All right, so we got three different chaps. All right, one has $100,000. They all have $100,000 at the equity market peak on October 9th, 2017. One of the chaps will buy and hold throughout the course of the time. So he just said, I got $100,000 and now I'm just riding it out. The other sits out a year. The investors sit out for a year. Okay, the other eliminates the full equity position a whole year later during the peak month of outflows for global equity mutual funds and exchange traded funds, only to buy back in 1 year later. Okay, so chap number 2 says in October 9th, 2007, he hangs in there. Then a full year later, he gets out. He says October 9th, 2008, I'm getting out. October 9th of 2009, he gets back in. All right, so I hope that makes sense. So he sits out a full year and then gets back in a full year later. All right, investor, wait for good data, eliminates the full equity position on October 2008 during the peak month of outflows, and then only to get back in March 2010 once the default rates for subprime mortgages finally peaked. I don't know how you know that, but it doesn't matter. Let's just go into this. So basically he's saying, look, he missed out from October 2008 to March of 2009, which is a pretty significant drop-off. All two of them missed out from October 2008 to March of 2009, if that makes sense. Now, from October 2007 to October 2008, they still got hammered, as we all did, but be it as it may. So who did best? The buy and hold guy, having experienced the full market decline, saw their account bottom out at $48,000 in March of 2009. All right, so by April 2011, April 29, 2011, the account was back to $100,000. All right, so basically the guy who invested stayed the course. It fell to $48,000 in March of 2009 from $100,000 October 2007. Then it took until April of 2011 to get back to full. And at the end of 2019, he was sitting at $276,000. All right, so he more than almost tripled his money by hanging in there. The guy who got out for a year in October 2008 and got back in October 2009 never saw their accounts fall below $60,000. All right, so he missed. So he had $60,000 in October 2008. It fell $12,000. Bear with me just a second. So he missed another 20% decline. So from October 2008 to March of 2009, we had another 20% fall off. So he missed that other 20% fall off, which means he never fell below $60,000. So he had $100,000, fell to $60,000, but then he got back in until he got back in the following year, October 2009. So he missed from March 9th of 2009 to October 9th of 2009. He missed a lot of run up there. All right, so this investor did not make it back to whole until March 2013. All right, so because he missed from October to from March 9th, 2009 to October 9th, 2009, it took him a full 2 more years to get back to whole. Man. And then by the end of 2009, he had 232,000, which is 44,000 less than the guy who just bought and hold. That's pretty significant, man. I mean, so he had 44,000 divided by 276. He had 16% less than the first guy, even though he didn't go anywhere near the bottoming out that first guy happened. Investor, wait for good data. By waiting until subprime defaults peak to once again invest, didn't get back to whole until 1,379 trading days, and is slightly less an account today than even investors said out a year does. So basically, he's sitting on about, we'll say, $230,000. So he is also 16, 17, 18% behind where the guy who just buy and hold. The buy and hold strategy proved to fare the best, notwithstanding experience that the greater loss during the financial crisis. It's times in the market that tends to matter most. Let's apply the wisdom of George. Okay, whatever. But anyway, that's going to be a tough one because, I mean, anyone could say, well, if you would have done this, would have done that. But, I mean, just at the end of the day, you hear, I'm going to wait for things to settle down. Settle down. And what that usually means is, when do things settle down? Usually when the market is off its bottom and come back up again. You know what I'm saying? Like you might say it's a dead cat bounce, which is very seductive to some. Are we in a dead cat bounce now? I mean, we're up 25% from the market fall, and now we're down. I think today we're down pretty good again. Let's take a look. So are we in the midst of a dead cat bounce? Yeah, we're getting knocked around again. We're down another. Oops. Let's see. Today, 2.69% on the S&P 500. I don't know. I just know that here's why you have to just say, look, I am in it for the long haul, because you cannot time this stuff, man. You don't know. Are you buying a dead cat bounce? Well, if you think you are, and it turns out you're not, what's the point? I just don't get what's the point of investing. Are you waiting for things to settle down? Are they settled down now? Who knows? You just got to say, I'm going to stick it out, because you can't win on both sides. You can't win on the sell. And you can't win on the buy. So just stay in there. Literally, say historically, we've seen 35% declines all the time. And it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. It's just historical, man. So you got to say, I am willing to let this money just disappear in front of my very eyes and just ride it out. And the way you do that is you have enough cash on the side to ride it out, to allow you not to spend down your assets when you need it. So pretty good article. I thought you'd like that. So we'll love to hear your comments. We'll see you.